packaging. And then of course here is that poster 7 where it is up and Hey guys, Andrew here with D.U.E Process, brand new YouTube channel here for these First Amendment audits. And we are here in Grand Rapids, Minnesota at our local post office for the very first one. So those of you who are new for the first time seeing this, go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. It's the best thing that you could do to help. And we're going to be doing a little visit here at the Grand Rapids, Minnesota post office. We're also going to be dropping off a letter and purchasing a postage stamp. So we're going to see if they do honor and respect our rights to record video and take photographs in public, as well as publicly accessible areas of public buildings. Thank you, Jason from Amagansett Press for that line. But you'll see right here, right across the street, it is a relatively older building, and it is a nice day here in northern Minnesota. It's a spring day that is basically here to a little bit breezy, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and see what we've got going on here with all these across the road here. And you'll notice that a lot of people do not respect the pedestrians in the area, but that is okay. We got a nice little lampshade here, LED lights, and then of course, like Jason does, there is Old Glory up in there waving in the breeze just as she should be, and POW MIA, those signs as well. So cruise on over here and kind of get a little view of the outside of the building. Of course, the USPS is currently hiring, which is a very good thing. If those of you who are here locally in Grand Rapids, if you are watching this and you are looking for some good employment, I guess the post office is looking for a good way to do that. So you can see Mailbox Drive, it's a pretty cool sign right there as we go out here. Almost got hit by a car as people try to come in. Relatively old building. This has been around for a very, very long time. And let's go kind of for a little walk around here and see what you can see from outside. We're here on the public sidewalk, and it is of course pretty cool. We have a fallout shelter. Those of you, a lot of people actually don't know this, but some of these older post offices are fallout shelters for nuclear issues there. A lot of traffic, so it might get a little bit loud as we take a look at the building on this side of the building. And we'll give you a tour of the backside as well as we continue to go around and tour the building and see if they are, of course, going to have any issue with us out here recording. So we'll just go ahead and go down this alley here. This just looks like publicly accessible alley to some of the more private businesses, not public buildings, of course. So we'll do our best to stay off of that. Give you a really good view of the building. Obviously, some no parking signs. There's some USPS signage out here, and just kind of walk around and see what's going on. Pay these guys a little bit of a visit and go forward from there. So you can see here, we will do our best to stay off of the back end of the building. Obviously, we don't want to raise any unnecessary suspicions as we're out here. You can see that there is postal parking only. Some of the waste management trash receptacles there. There is no through traffic, of course. This is all for postal employees to be able to park on over here. And as you can see, there's a number of vehicles there doing that. So hopefully that makes sense. How are you doing today? So we'll go ahead and see the neighborhood. Kind of go around the front of the building, get you a good view of that. We'll go in, we'll do some inspection, show you some of the PO boxes, how it's structured inside of here, and then do some reviews of the signage, make sure poster 7 is of course up, and verifying and confirming our rights to be able to take video and photograph here in public. See, right over there is the police department. That's City Hall and the police station. Right behind that is the courthouse, as well as the fire station and sheriff's department, all in one spot. So we'll be paying those a visit in another one of our videos. And like we said, if you guys are new to the channel, which probably everybody is, since this is our very first audit video, go ahead, like and subscribe. It is the best thing that you can do to support the channel. We're going to be dropping a letter off here in the postal receptacle. That is for a vehicle that we bought this last weekend, and I just had to drop that in there so that they could have a title for our trade-in, which is very, very important there. So we'll come on around the front of the building here and to give you a good view on what we got going on. We'll get some B-roll footage here while we stand here and record the front of the building. As you can see, it is a long-standing building. This has been here for quite some time, and we'll cruise on over here and just kind of show what you can see. So those of you who are new to the area or thinking about moving over here, this is the local post office, and we'll just kind of record some people coming in and out to get you some good view of what's going on here, and see what we got going on inside here in just a moment. Grand Rapids, Minnesota. It is a pretty nice day here. About 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't have a watch on to find out what time it actually is or what the temperature is, but it's starting to be a pretty nice day. Earlier we had some overcast, which is a little bit cold, a little bit chilly, rather normal here for a spring day in northern Minnesota. So we'll just kind of stand around, record what we got going on here, then we'll go and investigate some of the signage. You can see some of the older kind of marbled there. It's pretty cool. So, and yeah, good day to be out doing a wonderful little audit video to make sure our constitutional rights are, of course, protected and people are aware. So let's see, caution right there. Make sure you use your handrails. You got the wheelchair ramp right here, so those of you who are in a wheelchair, you have the ability to get in and out of the post office, which is, of course, very, very important. A little bit of view of Central School over there. That is a landmark here in Grand Rapids. Those of you who are not familiar with that. So see what we got going on here. We do have an inscription on the side of the building. I'll just kind of venture over here to show you what this is all about here. So you can see all the individuals who are the original post officers, the Secretary of Treasury, Postmaster General, and of course 1937 is when this post office was erected. So it gives you kind of a little bit of a date on that, which is pretty cool as you go forward with that and carry on. So we are coming out of a lot of the COVID restrictions, so you might see some people not wearing masks, some people wearing masks. Of course, we do not wear the mask, as we do have a little bit of a medical exemption related to that. So that's kind of where we're going to go with it. And then we'll walk around the side of the building here, show you what the parking looks like, and carry on about that. See if we can get some good footage for you guys today. You can see over there, you can see where the trucks come in to deliver the mail. Make sure they shut off their message, their engines and whatnot. And you can see right here that this is reserved parking for postal employees only. And you do have that vehicles will be towed. So if anybody does park in here, just keep in mind that you are running the risk of having your vehicle towed and impounded. So just keep in mind when you do come to the Grand Rapids Post Office that you do want to park up here in the front. There's not a lot of space here for you to be able to do that, but you can see that people do come in and out rather rapidly inside of the postal facility. And across the street there's a couple of private businesses, an orthodontist, a funeral home, a couple of insurance individuals, and some things like that. So go ahead and get you some more B-roll up here, just kind of get you some footage of the front of the building and see what we got going on. Then we'll take you guys inside, do a real quick tour of the building, and that would basically just wrap it up for us so that we can make sure that you guys have all the information that you need about our public buildings. Now keep in mind, your tax dollar does pay for these buildings, so it is important that they do honor and respect our rights to be able to exercise our freedoms afforded to us by the U.S. Constitution and the Bill of Rights. So we will we'll see how that goes here in just a little bit. Take a little tour up the ramp. see it's relatively well built and not too steep for those of you who are in a wheelchair. Really easily accessible for you, which is great. Take a look at some of the signage here. You can see that typical armed robbery of a postal employee there is a sentence in prison by up to 25 years once you are convicted. That is obviously don't rob the postal master. So here you can see watching your step. It does get a little bit icy here in the wintertime, so they do want to make sure that you are aware of that it can be a little bit slippery when it is wet. And you can see here some of the signage on the door right there. Automatic door. This is of course all the payment methods that are available to you. Possession of firearms and or other dangerous weapons on postal property is of course prohibited by law. So those of you who are doing your 2A, exercising that right, make sure that if you are on public postal property and or any government building for that matter, that you want to make sure that you do not carry the into the building with you. That is of course punishable by law, and of course we don't want you guys getting in trouble for anything like that. So just keep in mind as we cruise on down over here to this side of the building and give you another view over here. And you've got a stairwell here. I'm not sure what that actually goes to there. Probably down into the basement of some sort. It does look like that is open to the public, but I don't see any signs restricting it. But at the end of the day, we'll see how that goes out. We're going to be going inside the building and purchasing a postage stamp, so bear with us as we continue to do that. Just going to spend a little bit of extra time on the outside of the building to make our presence at least somewhat known by the individuals on the inside, to see if they are at all, of course, curious about what it is that we're doing. See if we can get anybody to ask any questions about why it is that we're doing what we're doing. Hopefully the postmaster, he's actually a pretty cool guy. This is our local post office, like we said, so he is a veteran. So he did take that oath to uphold the Constitution. Now he's got a chance to be able to actually see that taking place. Some interesting carvings up there. Got looks like a locomotive train up there at the top, and then an airplane, and then a ship. So there's a couple of modes of transportation that were obviously around at the construction of the post office and whatnot here. So just keep pretty cool stuff on this older post office here. Like I said, it's 1937 when this was erected. You can see there is some damage to the outside of the building there. Hopefully they will get that commission, get that fixed up. Some of the older lamp posts right here, you can see there that that's a pretty interesting structure. So just go ahead and keep recording, get some of that footage for you guys, so you guys got something that you can kind of learn as you're kind of hearing what we're doing here. And remember, what we're doing is a First Amendment audit right here. We're going to be standing up for our rights to take video and photographs in public. This is, of course, our first one, so leave a comment down below. Let us know how we're doing, and we appreciate you coming and hanging out with us for the time being. We will be going on a trip here very momentarily across North Dakota, South Dakota. We're going to be going over to obviously Mount Rushmore there, and Little Horse, all of those monuments that we're going to be available, and we'll be sharing some of that information with you as we go on that trip. There's Mrs. D.U.E Process there performing her civil duties, helping an individual whose arms were full. It always helps to be a good Samaritan, be polite. Treat people in the same respect that you would want to be treated yourself, especially if you're out here doing that. There's a lot of channels out there where people just act like knuckleheads. They're trying to get a rise out of people. We are not here to do that. We are simply here to exercise a right, and of course at the same time see if everybody else honors and respects our right to be able to do that. So I'm pretty confident here in this small town of Grand Rapids, Minnesota, that is actually going to be a thing. So pretty good stuff here is at the post office. So obviously not a lot happening here on a Monday. It's pretty typical. Funny, that car that drove by sounds like it does not have a muffler. That muffler probably cost about $300 to make the car sound like it does not have a muffler, which is kind of interesting to me. How individuals would pay those prices to make their car sound that terrible. You can see a lot of people do come and go. It is a fairly busy post office for the size of the town that it's in, so it's pretty exciting stuff. And don't worry, the commentary, guys, will get a lot better as we continue to do these audits. We appreciate your support. Like we said, if you're just tuning in now, go ahead, like and subscribe to the channel. It's the best thing you can do to support what it is that we're doing. And of course, there will be a link in the description for our website. You can go and visit that and leave your comments on there and see what's available. As far as that goes, you'll see what we're doing, and you'll be able to subscribe to our email list, which will give you notifications when these videos do go live. We'll be doing our best to post at least one per week, and of course we'll be giving you a lot more as we continue to go forward with that. So just keep that in mind as we go in and continue our day. It's that wet floor sign on the inside of the building. Be cautious when you do step in. Obviously it is a sunny day here, but it has been raining for the last couple of weeks. It's springtime. April showers bring May flowers, but here in northern Minnesota, April showers go into May, so the flowers don't come until the end of May and June, which is really nice. Minnesota's really awesome in the summertime. In the wintertime, it is equal and opposite, so the opposite of that is also true. Give it about 5 more minutes out here, guys, and then what we'll do is we'll go inside. We'll do a brief tour of the building. We'll inspect poster 7, make sure that it is, of course, up, and then what we'll do is purchase our stamp and upload the video for you guys' enjoyment. See if anything exciting happens. If not, then good to go. That means they are honoring and respecting our rights. We've got a lot of people go in and out of the building, and that's really cool. So you can see right there, there's Alliance Courier. They are bringing in some of the mail over here for the USPS and whatnot. So hopefully that all makes sense to you guys. Again, there's a little red, white, and blue up there. POW MIAs, those of you who are out there in the veterans, that should mean a lot to you there. So I'm gonna make sure that that is not a tattered flag. It is not a tattered flag. Like I said, the postmaster here is in fact a veteran, so I'm pretty sure he has the same respect for that as we all do. Up there at the top, up there, you can see that is a bald eagle circling, looking for its next meal, but it's pretty great stuff. As you can see, there you go, there's another view of that. I don't know if the GoPro is actually going to be able to zoom in on it for you, but you can see that there is some of the more beautiful wildlife that we have here in northern Minnesota. We are really close to Canada. In fact, right over there is the paper mill. A giant building on the other side over there is a paper mill. That's where the Mississippi actually begins, and they make a lot of the paper products that this town is famous for. Let's see what we got going on over here. Just keep some stuff going for you guys. Again, Grand Rapids, Minnesota Post Office. Oh, go ahead. Let's get some of that footage for you guys so you guys can see. As I said, it is a fairly steady post office, being specifically as a small town as Grand Rapids is. So take a look around the building once again. We'll cruise back over here and give you some of that view like we were sharing earlier. It's a pretty sizable post office for that matter. You can see right over there, it's a loading dock, just like in the back, another loading dock. So we will we will stay here on the public sidewalk and make sure that obviously we are not doing any trespassing. Here is one of those drive-ins where we don't want to block that. Grand Rapids State Bank right next door to the post office. But here is a view of the outside of the building, as you can see. And like we said, we'll be a couple more minutes here. We'll go inside. We'll take a tour of the P.O. Box area. Look for poster 7, any other signage that is available. We will do that. There is no mask order on the door, so we're going to go inside without the mask. Like we said, COVID is actually starting to kind of lighten up a little bit. The mask mandates are starting to lift across the nation, and that means, of course, with that comes some of those maskless entries that we'll be able to do without having to worry about that. Like I said, though, I do have that medical exemption from wearing a mask, and HIPAA does, of course, give us the ability to not have to disclose what that medical exemption is. Here you can see the stair step all the way up to the flag that is, of course, waving in the breeze like it should be at every single government building here in the good old United States of America. As soon as that last lady who just went into the building comes out, what we will do is we will go in and we will purchase our stamp and go forward from there. Make sure you do support your local post offices. They are, of course, obviously hurting for revenues. We all know that they are looking at raising the prices. So let's make sure that we do come to your local post office over some of the more traditional ways of sending your overnight packages. You can go ahead and support these facilities. They are, of course, great employers. As you can see, you know that this one is hiring. Those of you who are in the Grand Rapids area and you are looking for a legitimate job, something that you can do, something that is rewarding. Obviously, going postal is a thing from back in my day. A little bit of a date on myself, but postal workers are ones that used to do some craziness that's going on there. So we'll just kind of get some of that footage. And then what we'll do here is enter the building so that we can, of course, do that tour of the post office boxes and check those poster 7s out, make sure that they do have their signage up appropriately, and then take a look and purchase that stamp. So let's go ahead and go into the building now and see what we've got going on. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Sir, good.
Thank you.
So here we are in the lobby. Here is some of the signage that is, of course, available. Know it's coming. You can just go ahead and use that QR code right there. If you are feeling sick, here's one of those signs. Do not enter the facility. Obviously, we want to make sure that we are not prolonging the COVID situation by making sure that we do respect that. And here's another sign right here. National Crime Victims Week is April 18th through April 24th, 2021. So that is a little bit outdated. And you can see there are some official signage here for the post office. Should be down 4/30/2021. And obviously it's a little bit past that date. So here you can see again, we are now hiring at the Grand Rapids Post Office. If you are interested in that, you can go to USPS.com and select careers. Business opportunities, those of you who are a little bit more entrepreneurial, such as myself, you can actually become a contractor here for the U.S. Postal Service and hit some of those more rural areas. So there's some information about that for those of you who would potentially be interested in that, which is great. And then, of course, more signage from the post office. Let's take a look at this. It is to be taken down on the first of the month. So we've got about a week left on this sign right here, and then cruise on over to this side here. Again, another now hiring sign. They want to make sure that if you are looking for a career, it does look they do start out with some pretty good pay rates and overtime pay and all that kind of thing. Then you have here, protect yourself from Social Security scams. These are pretty common as well. So if you guys are receiving any of those suspicious calls, make sure to follow the information on the sign and be a little bit more protected. Here is where you can rent your post office boxes, and you can get a little bit of a view on how the age of the building here by the carpentry and some of the signage up there is a really beautiful painting. across the top there, which is pretty cool. And of course, some of the P.O. boxes that you are able to rent here locally. So those of you who are interested in having some anonymity related to that, that is helpful. Here is another one right here. Welcome to our Main Street Post Office. This is about P.O. boxes as well. And this says right here, up immediately. It does not have a takedown date. If you guys are interested in these post office boxes, you can go to usps.com/PO box and renew your post office box, as well as some other things. And here you can see that we have a table. Generally, this table would be full of material for you to be able to mail your letters, your certified letters. There's of course a pen there, but there is no actual stuff here inside of this particular one. There's another one inside the main area of the post office, so we'll be able to take a look at that. Here's the P.O. box information, some of the pricing that's available on the different sizes. And then here, of course, you're available for pickup by 10:45 a.m. in the morning, so you have to give them a little bit of time to be able to go out and get these boxes filled up for you. Here is an outgoing mail receptacle, so if you wanted to drop off here inside the post office, you could do that here. I do believe that this particular piece of the post office stays open. Collection times obviously end at 12:15 p.m. For anybody who is interested in dropping off their letters to be mailed out, just note that it will be closing. They collect this here at 12:15 p.m. So just so you are aware of that. And we'll go in here, take a look at some of the post office box stuff, publicly accessible areas of the building. And you can see right here, there is a number of them for some of the local community here to be able to have a little bit more privacy in their mailing and whatnot as it relates to that. So good stuff there. Here is the entry to the actual post office. If you need service, you can of course ring that bell. We won't be doing that. We'll just be going inside and purchasing a stamp to make our visit official here at the Grand Rapids, Minnesota Post Office. So come in here and take a look at some of the signage that they do have inside the building. And we'll keep it down just so we don't bother anybody who is doing that. There's some of the restricted, prohibited materials that you want to make sure that you're doing.
No.
And then let's see if we can find our poster 7. Here is a notice right here. Dangerous materials once again. Some shipping supplies. As we continue to go around the building. I do not either. It looks like poster 7 is of course not. Oh, here we go. Cruise on over here. And you guys can take a look at what we got going on, some express packaging. And then of course, here is that poster 7 where it is up and is updated as you can see, August 2007. So any rewards you guys want to do some bounty hunting, here's some things that you can take a look at there as well. And then knowing, obviously, it is a crime to mail prohibited materials, and there's that possession of firearms. So let's go ahead and purchase our stamp, and then we will go ahead and be on our way.
You as well. Oh, I don't need to take that back, do I?
Hi.
Hello, you sure can. If I could have one postage stamp, if you do not mind.
One postage stamp?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you need anything else?
That would be it.
You don't need any packaging supplies or
Not today, we do not.
55 cents. And big purchase of the day.
It is a gigantic one.
Survey on the bottom. There you
Awesome.
go.
Thank you, Debbie. We appreciate that. You have a great day. Well, guys, there you have it. Grand Rapids, Minnesota Post Office. Nothing too exciting there. Obviously, they do honor and respect our rights to be able to take photographs in public, and not a bad visit. As you can see, they do have all the required signage up. Hopefully you guys got some good information out of that, and stay tuned. We'll be going on a trip here very shortly. It will be going across multiple states, and of course in those multiple states we will have stops that we will do, share some of these postal audits and the First Amendment audits across our wonderful nation of the United States of America. As you can see, do a really quick pan of the parking lot here. As you can see, there is a lot of space available for those of you who are looking for employment. You've got your pick of all of the parking that you want right here. So there's some of the vehicles, as you can see, from here on out. Let's do one more walk around the building just to make sure, just for good measure, that we have, of course, everything that we need for our audit today, and look forward to doing some more of these for you. Like I said, best way that you can, of course, support the channel is just go ahead, like and subscribe, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and there will be more to come as we continue our auditing using First Amendment audits, and of course constitutional audits as we continue to go forward with this. And ideally, over the course of time, I'll get a little bit more better at sharing information with you guys. Go ahead and post a comment below if you have anything specific that you would like us to cover in these videos. Be happy to do that. And of course, you are the best source of information. We are the resistance. So come on back over here. You can get a good feed on how that kind of like a little drive-in, drive-out component of the post office here in the post office box. And here is Mailbox Drive, as you can see. And then Mayor John Craig, 1984 to 1989, is a sign up there. I'm not sure what that's all about, but maybe there is a little bit of context behind that. That would be pretty good. So let's cruise around the other side of the building here, show you some of what we've got here at the Grand Rapids Post Office here in Grand Rapids, Minnesota. Northern Minnesota, beautiful day. Beautiful spring day. You can see right there, this is again a parking for postal employees only. We'll take a walk around the back of the building. Of course, no parking, fire lanes, all of that great stuff. And we'll get a good view of the back of the post office here. There's a picnic table for postal employees to be able to come in and take a good look or have their lunch or whatever that might be there. And of course, the back door to the post office is all right here for you know, postal employees to be able to enter and whatnot. And again, another loading dock for individual. Oh, no problem. How are you doing? Good, good, good. So you can see here that there are a couple of loading docks here in the back of the building available for you here today. So as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3. And here's one of those contractors. So those of you who are interested in driving your own vehicle, getting all of the benefits that go along with that, the tax deductions, the mileage reimbursements. I'm not a tax attorney, so make sure you do consult with a tax attorney to make sure that you are, of course, compliant with everything. But I think that if you guys are looking for a really good way to earn some extra money, be your own business, a post office contractor will be a great way to do that. And again, there's the front of the building like we were sharing earlier today. You can see right there that second loading dock where that other vehicle was, of course, loading up all of their stuff as it relates to that. So a couple of people here outside having some conversations. Let's walk back around the building and wrap it up for today. So you guys can see some of the facility here. We do have a tow truck coming in, and that might be for somebody who's inappropriately parked inside of the postal parking area. So we'll get around the front of the building, see if anything exciting is happening there, record what they're doing, so that you guys can see what happens if you are not a postal employee and you are, of course, parked in a parking zone that is reserved for the postal employees. Obviously, I like getting my mail on time, so let's make sure that our postal employees got a nice place to park where they don't have to worry about things as it goes. So just give you another view here of the side of the building. Mailbox Drive is where we are now. That's this little spot right here. You get to come in, you get to drop off your outgoing postal mail around the clock, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even if you didn't want to get out of your vehicle. So they do make it really convenient for you to be able to do that. Cruise around the back of the building here, see what's going on with the tow truck, and we'll go forward from there. Here is a Star Tribune that is currently sold out. I don't know if that's sold out or not, or if people just stopped purchasing any the actual papers themselves. It seems to be a little bit outdated. So, front of the building once again. And then here is our TJ Towing coming over here to tow a vehicle who may or may not be inappropriately parked, or maybe this lady is just having some engine trouble and he's here to help. Well, let's see what we got going on here. Does look like he is there to help, so I don't think anything exciting is going to be happening there. Tow truck drivers, as you guys know, do a lot more than just tow inappropriately parked vehicles. They do bring gasoline, they do help with certain elements of people's vehicles, and of course that is what it looks like we do have going on here. So that's it, guys. That's what we got. Thank you very much for watching and sticking through it with the rest of the video. Like I said, like and subscribe to the channel. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. That's the best thing you could do to help us out as we begin to grow on this journey and taking video and photographs of public buildings and in publicly accessible areas, and see if people do honor and respect our rights. Grand Rapids Post Office gets a solid A+ for their respecting of our rights. As you can see, the employees were inside there. They did not have any issue with us at all doing our brief visit with them here today. So that's all I got for you guys. See you in the next one.